All right, UFC 328, Strickland versus Chimaev in Newark, New Jersey. These are going to be my fighter breakdowns and my bets that I've actually placed for the week. I'm a little slow on the output of videos this week, so I have not gotten any initial leans video out or anything like that for myself this week. So we're going to go simply with what my final bets were after doing a little bit of research. I did not get as much tape study in this week as I'd like to, but I have some good ideas on the fights initially, anyways, and I've gotten a little bit of tape study in as well as watching a couple of videos on others' opinions to get to where I'm feeling about my own views on the fights. So, fight one: Jose Ochoa versus Clayton Carpenter. Jose Ochoa, that's my pick. I believe in him more as a prospect. I think his striking's phenomenal. I think if they're caught on the feet, that Clayton Carpenter's fucked. He's in a bad spot. He's not going to handle the feet well with Jose Ochoa. The narrative on Clayton Carpenter's side would be that if he is able to out wrestle Jose Ochoa as Asu Almabayev did, that he could kind of win a decision based control battle. If Jose Ochoa, this is my opinion, only if Jose Ochoa decides to play the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu game on the bottom for too long, is that going to end up being the thing? I think he's going to have more urgency this time to get up, and otherwise he's also going to be just more dangerous. I think that Clayton Carpenter is more in danger to be submitted as well from a guillotine or something along those lines. I have a feeling on this one. I don't know what it is. So Jose Ochoa potentially. Um, I have him in a parlay bet, but I have there's I think a really good line out there right now for submissions. And I might put in a small submission bet on him the day of the fight, just in case at really good odds. Can't not touch it. All right, next, Beisinger Susurkayev versus Jordan Santos. I've got my bet a little bit split on this one. I've got Jordan Santos at a plus 490 underdog line. I couldn't help myself. I placed a little something on it just in case. I think the guy is. I think he's a dog. I think he's going to be there, and he's got a good chin from all I've seen so far, and I don't think he's going anywhere on the feet. I think Susurkayev is going to have to use that wrestling. I think he might, again, a Susurkayev submission would be what I would be leaning towards otherwise. On this one, I believe I have a Jordan Santos small bet on his money line just because of those odds, as well as putting Susurkayev in a parlay, so that one way or another, hopefully, I make some money on this one. All right, and so Pat Sabatini versus William Gomi. I've got Pat Sabatini in a parlay. I'm pretty confident on him. I think if he gets his grappling going, things will go well for him. Gomi did look really in shape at the weigh-ins. I will say that. And I had heard that he changed camps to Benoit Saint Denis camp, and so again, some things his way. If it's on the feet, it's going to favor William Gomi. I don't think he's got that necessarily knockout striking potential, but hey, anyone does on the feet if they get the right shot in. So Pat Sabatini does need to get his grappling going to get this going, but I have a feeling, and I have a bet on that he will. So Roman Kopylov versus Marco Tulio. I'm taking this one to skip this fight in terms of betting purposes. I initially was on Tulio. And then I'm leaning towards Kopylov for experience now, and I just can't trust my reads on this one or other people's opinions that I've heard out there, and so we're going to skip the bet on this fight and just watch it as a fan, see what happens. Jim Miller, Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon is in the parlay for me as well. Yeah, old man versus younger man, faster hands, more in his prime. You know, I'm not going to go any more into this. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory why I went with Jared Gordon here. Grant Dawson versus Matus Rebecki. I skipped this one as well as of this point. I leaning more towards Grant Dawson as the week goes on, and I did a little MMA math. I forget who it was that they both fought, but either way, they both fought someone, and Grant Dawson won the fight. Matus Rebecki lost it. I I'm not going to bet on this one right now. I've stayed away. Haven't touched it on a bet so far. But I am leaning towards Grant Dawson to be able to just be again a better grappler. I think it is a grappler versus a striker matchup, and Grant's going to be the better one. Yaroslav Amosov versus Joel Alvarez. I've got Yaroslav Amosov. I'm pretty confident on. Again, I had my grapplers this week. It's tending to be a grappler week for me, and just my confidence in their ability to impose their game plan over their opponent. Joel Alvarez is going up in weight. I don't think he's going to be able to weight bully as much, and I don't think his takedown defense is going to be able to hold up against this monster of a man. I looked at the weigh-ins too, and Yaroslav looks jacked. He looks ready for this fight, and I've got to go with him on this one until I see otherwise. I do love Joel Alvarez. I'll put it that way. I love his striking. If it's stuck on the feet again, Joel's going to win this. There's a lot of these matchups this week that it's going to be the guy can get him to the ground and impose his game plan. He's going to look excellent and like minus 1,000 favorite. And if there's the guy who can stuff those takedowns and keep it on the feet, he's going to also look minus 1,000. So there's a lot of those this week. Atiba Gauthier versus Ozzy Diaz. No bet on it currently, but Atiba Gauthier is the obvious round 1 knockout or round 2 knockout. Round 2, if you want any value, it's at plus 450. So as you can cross those fingers and hope Ozzy Diaz can survive round 1. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. To be honest, I can't get away from that value for it's just Ozzy Diaz isn't terrible. He might be able to take the punches in round 1 and make it to the next and then get his ass knocked out. So I might have to touch that a little bit. King Green versus Jeremy Stevens. Another stay away from me currently, but it's because I'm leaning Jeremy Stevens here, and that scares me. So I haven't touched it, but if I'm going to touch it, it's going to be Jeremy Stevens by knockout. I have a feeling it's going to look like King Green being faster, piecing him up, being the better fighter mostly for a lot of it, but that potential for Jeremy Stevens to land a good shot that hurts King Green. Bobby Green does not have a good chin, and he's. There was a couple fights ago, I literally was like, "Oh man, this guy's cooked," and then he's gotten on a little bit of a streak of sorts. But I just think that if Jeremy Stevens can touch that chin, he can win. And so I just haven't touched it personally on the bets yet. But if I was going to, it would be Jeremy Stevens by KO. Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. I've got Joaquin Buckley as a straight up money line. This is the part of the card. As soon as we've got this main card going on, I've got my underdog main card feeling for most of this. I'm gonna go with aside from the main event. I'll be honest. So Joaquin Buckley, I've got a bet on him to beat Sean Brady. He looked excellent, phenomenally in shape. Brady, he's looking a little skinnier than what he has in the past, and especially in comparison to Joaquin Buckley. And I think that's going to help a lot in the grappling and keep for Buckley to keep himself upright and to get himself backed upright. But technique kind of beats all, so he could just get grapple fucked the whole time. But I think if they're stuck on the feet, it's not going to look great for Sean Brady. Volkov versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. I've got a bet on Waldo Cortez Acosta again. I'm feeling my underdogs on this main card. I can't go away from the streak he's on, pretty much the momentum he's got going. Volkov is so damn long though, man. I looked at those weigh-ins and he's a dog, and it's scary to bet against Volkov. I have a feeling I might regret this one, but this one might be more of a fan based. I've really loved what Cortez Acosta has put out up to this point, and just the streak that he's on. Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira. I've got Joshua Van to hold up and to show off that excellent takedown defense, grappling base, and fantastic boxing to win this fight. Chimaev versus Strickland. Chimaev by a wrestle fuck. Strickland's gonna put up a decent round 1 maybe. I think he'll give him some grappling he'll make him think about it a little bit. You know, he'll make him work hard for it. We should say he'll make Chimaev work hard for it. But in the end, I trust Chimaev either submission or decision. I've got Chimaev in a parlay as well. So keeping that quick and painless on this one, and we're gonna go right to the bets. All right, and here we are at the bets now. So, first one placed, and first one I got on there was the most confident one is Joaquin Buckley. I've got a feeling on him, and so he's my first money line placed, a $15 wager. I got a 3-pick parlay. This is my will make my whole card parlay if it hits, and it's 3 guys that I feel pretty darn confident in: Pat Sabatini, Jose Ochoa, and Jared Gordon to win their fights. 3 dudes, money lines, plus 202. I've got $20 on that for the potential payout of 60.52. Jordan Santos, here's my $5 for 29.50 on him. And then we're just going to cut up a little bit here for this top one. And then I've got a 3-pick parlay that's plus 104 of Khamzat Chimaev, Baisinger Susurkayev, and Yaroslav Amasov at a $15 parlay. So I kind of split my my odds on that one fight there. Joshua Van money line, Waldo Cortez Acosta money line. So a couple dogs, and a couple parlays. That's what we've got going this week for this card for UFC 328. And